Well, hello everyone and welcome to my review of One Deck Dungeon Forest of Shadows. So, let us begin with this tiny little box. It is a tiny little box and it's really nice. Anyway, let's begin, shall we? So we'll begin with the rulebook. It's the tiny little rulebook with this tiny little box. I have to say that this rulebook is very good. It's nicely done, as it were. If you've actually played or have the original One Deck Dungeon, the Forest of Shadows book is, I would say, better than the original, as the Forest of Shadows book gives you these green boxes. These green boxes says if you've already played One Deck Dungeon already, you just read the Forest of Shadows rules and that's it, which are these little green boxes. That's really it. I like that. Really good. And I definitely have to say that this newer rule book, the 1.6, I don't know if it, yeah, there we go, is laid out much better than the original. It's less pages as well. I mean, seriously, I like it. It just feels so much more easier to read it as well, and so seriously, I do like these little boxes that comes in. I mean, this brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Really, when it comes down to yeah, a little campaign mode there. Comes down to just the Forest of Shadows. You'll have the Forest of Shadows expansion rules, which is right at the very back of the book. Tells you about the poison and exile. Oh geez. Hybrid dungeons as well, so you can mix like your sets. Brilliant. And it even tells you a little bit about story mode, which was unlocked during the Kickstarter as well. Really, that's all I need to talk about this book. I mean, it's a very good rule book. I like it. This box comes with 6 heroes to choose from. This is a 1 to 2 player game. However, if you have 2 boxes of this, or 1 box of this and one of the original ones, then you can have 4 players. But normally, just 1 single box is a 1 to 2 player game. And with this, you get 6 heroes in them. That's pretty good what you get with. I mean, just well, right at the very start, you may think it only comes with 4 heroes just because of the front cover of the box, but it doesn't. 6. Great. This one right here, Kaliana. She was a printable one, so you go onto the Asmandi Games on One Deck Dungeon, and you can actually just print her off just like that. But they actually given you a physical copy, so you don't actually have to do that. And yeah, I mean, these are all really nice as well. It's double-sided because this is one side is for 1 player, so if you're playing with just all by yourself, you know, waiting for your friends to come over, or if no one's coming over because they're all busy, then you can play this all by yourself. You have this, and it gives you well, how many dice you would actually use and more health. On the back you'll have 2 player, less health, different type of skills as well. So yeah, I mean, it's all good. I myself actually do like the Warden's picture. I think no. Let's have a really good look at the Warden herself. If my camera focuses, I mean, look at that. I love it. Look at that smirk that she's just like there. Yeah. You know, I'm going to like get through this dungeon and kill the boss. Yeah. And she doesn't look like a weakling as well. It's like she's got those good muscles because she does actually hit hard at least. So yeah, they're not all wimpy, skinny, scantily clad and all that stuff. I mean, this is really good. Our next lot of cards are actually just here, there and everywhere kind of cards. We've got the turn reference card right here. This is what you would actually use to add potions down below, and you have your dungeon above it. It's pretty simple and straightforward. A good reference card as well. On the back, the boss fight card. So it gives you the instructions of what you need to do. And get, again, potions. You use up a potion and it gives you 1 health, or you can remove a poison counter. We'll get into that a little later. However, you also start off with one of these basic potions into play. One of these basic potions, I don't know, I've got the skills out, that comes in a little later. 4 basic potions. We have the aid, and we have the antidote on the back. Rewind, sounds fun. And luck. I do like luck. Actually, I quite like aid though. Aid tends to be very helpful. And that's what you start off with. So not only do you use one of the basic potions, you also get to heal or cure a poison. So let's get back to those basic skills. Basic skills aren't really in use until you go for a little campaign sheet. These are campaign sheets. You just keep ticking away at these boxes, and again, there's your basic skills. And yeah, there you have it. And it's, I do like this. These actually came with the original one, so if you actually had the original one, you'd know what these are. It's just a way to build up your character. The box comes with the Horde of Shadows, and it's double-sided. Hordes of the Shadows. Hordes of the Shadows. There you go. It's a 4-player type game. And yeah, this is all about using either 2 of the same type of dungeon. So if you're using 2 Forests of Shadows, you just use the Hordes of the Shadows, this version, where it's you gotta put another dice in here. Or if you're using a hybrid dungeon. Okay, welcome to One Deck Dungeon. No, this is the you're having 2 types of different dungeons. So Forest of Shadows and the basic. Then you go onto this side where it becomes a little bit more scary. So that's a nice little inclusion. You don't actually have to use this card. This is an addition if you want to have a little bit more of a challenge for a 4-player game only. We'll have some poison reference card right here. Some poison reference cards? Yeah, okay. Reference card for the hybrid dungeon and not dundon. That's great. It's always nice to have some reference cards here and there. Something to note is the level cards. It's a little bit more easier to level up now. It's like in the original, it was something like, I think it was 8 to level up to go to the next level. But this one is like 6, so there you go. And yeah, you've got 2-player, 1-player. Make sure you go on the right one. Use your experience points to level up, get more skills and items, and heroic dice to use. We'll come up to the bosses that you can actually choose to fight. You pick one of these bosses, and that's about it. You pick a boss to fight. Let's just say you want to fight the I don't know, let's just go for the corrupted tree. When you're fighting a boss, you always turn it to the dungeon side. So, and then drop it on the board. So you do your floor 1. When you complete that, as in you'll go downstairs. Hello, stairs. You go to the next floor, you do that. Floor 3, you do that. And after you find the stairs for the third one, you start to fight the boss. Pretty easy, fill the boxes in. If you manage to damage it, then it gets damaged. If you manage to kill it, you win the game. Next we come up to the last part of this, well, game really, which is the dungeon deck. And some other bits, we'll get into that later. The Forest of Shadows comes with these like moss coloured type dungeon cards, so I think that's quite a nice touch. And if we just have a look at some of these, well, you'd be fighting a wisp perhaps. Have fun covering up all of those boxes if you don't have someone with good magic. Or perhaps a peril like the panther. And some of the perils give you only, well, one of the two options. Either you do this sneak by, which means you've got to pass this test, and if you manage it, get the experience or the item, or you can charm it, which if you, well, you really do get to like do it. I mean, it's like even if you don't manage the task, you still succeed. It's just that when you run out of health, that's it, it's game over. So anyway, if you charm it, you'll get either 2 experience points, or you'll get the skill, which I like that. It's a nice little option there. We'll have another peril, the Thorn Spitter. Nasty little thing. Or perhaps the Moss Golem. Have fun trying to fill in those boxes. Well, anyway, let's just put these to one side, because you get a whole a bunch of dice. I was saying if you already had the normal one, then you'd kind of be already aware of this. So you get a whole bunch of these, literally, in a nice little bag. I'm just showing you these. You roll them, and just, well, if you've never played it, you start putting dice onto there. After you rolled them, of course. And the yellow one is like, oh no, I'm really left out because there's no yellow one. Yeah, anyway, the game is really, really simple. It's very, very easy and simple. Whole bunch of dice there. You get 3 different tokens. You have health token, you have the potion token, and you have the poison token. Bag full of tokens. The only downside is I think you don't get enough health tokens. That's the only downside there is, because some of the bosses have a lot of health. And, I don't know, I think not enough of these, so you might have to use some other tokens. And yeah, there you go. Like I said, talk about the stairs just to go underneath the dungeon, but you carry on underneath the dungeon, because draw these cards and there's the stairs to go to the next level. It's a very, very easy, simple game. So there you have it. That was my review of One Deck Dungeon, Forest of Shadows. So what do I actually think of it? Well, I think it's, I'd say, a little bit more interesting than the original version. I like the poison mechanics. It really gives an idea of, do I want to get rid of the poison or do I want to get rid of the damage? Of course, there's always a way to get rid of poison eventually on its own. I think it's a nice little mechanic there. I like some of the perils where you get to either have the item or the skill, or you know, the XP, which I like that a lot. It gives it a bit more uniqueness. I mean, 6 heroes, 6 bosses, sorry. Pretty good what you get out of there, plus additional card, you know, for the 4-player, if you want to use it or not, it's an option. I like having additional options, so you can use them or not use them. I like that. And it is a good challenge. It is a good challenge. Just like the original. Good challenge. And the updated stuff, I mean, yes. absolutely yes. Brilliant. I love that book. So, how would I rate it? I would rate this a 7.5 out of 10. Because I do like it. I really do like it. It might not be your type of game. It might be your type of game. If you like those kind of games, it is kind of a quick game. About 40 odd minutes. 30 minutes if you're quick just to get them out of the box and roll straight away. Yeah, it's going to have to be a 7.5 out of 10. So anyway, that's all I have. Thank you very much. Until next time, bye.